Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and whoever else is here. We have a lovely game tonight between two of our Division 1 teams. We have the Angry Unicorns, the Love Shack Gaming, versus the people I cannot pronounce their name of. I'm just going to call them by what the actual fish name is, which is a slippery dick. Very funny, but it's the real name. So I am accompanied today by my two casters, or our two casters that we usually have. We have a brand new one and a returning caster as usual. So we have Thor, who is actually the captain of Team Ragnarok, who
Correct.
not only is he new to casting, but their team is new to the league as well. So, got a double newbie going on here. So everybody say hi to Thor, and Thor say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Perfect. And we have Mr. Fukumas, who is doing your color casting this evening.
Yep, like always.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Alrighty then. We are looking to start this game here shortly. All teams are in. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to our casters to bullshit with each other on air until we figure out what the hell these teams are gonna do.
Okay. Okay, so anyways, now how should we really start this entire thing? I guess we could talk about the teams a little bit, couldn't we?
I suppose. So
Okay.
let me actually look at the that spreadsheet that I had open earlier.
Love Shack Gaming, if I remember correctly, they're a pretty good team based off what I remember from them, you know?
Love Shack has two different teams, correct? They have one in Division 1. They also have a team in Division 2, correct?
Correct.
Yes, Love Shack and Love Shack Academy.
Division 1 document. Forgive me, fellas. I'm still working my way around the Discord.
Nah, man, take your time.
Looks like we got a first map chosen, and it's super surprising. No one will ever guess what it is. Don't even have to say what it is, but I know anyway. It's Lijiang Tower.
Nice.
Yep.
The map universally adored by the entire Overwatch ranks.
Honestly, probably everyone's favorite control point, to say the least, you know?
It's just really well balanced. We got a good mix on there. I like Ilios as well, but Lijiang
Ilios,
is right up there.
I don't know, Ilias is just Boop City to me, you know? It's just...
Why?
I mean, well...
Mm,
That's all I really gotta say, you know?
I suppose. But I mean, that's only one of the three maps. I mean, I guess Lighthouse as well to a degree, but as long as your positioning isn't utterly crap, you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it has a really good mix of play styles, given positioning, and allows for a lot of different compositions. I think that's what
True
makes
that.
it. Yeah, I think that's what makes it more fun, as opposed to just running the same damn thing without.
It is a really
any-
diverse map, you know? You can really just run a lot of different things on different maps. You can run double sniper on the one with the high ground. You can run well, and with bunker mainly. And on the other one, I think that's a pretty good dive map, but don't quote me on that one.
Wait, hold on. Which one are you referring to?
There's the outdoor, you know, the outdoor one with like the big statues and all the high ground, good for Widowmaker.
Oh,
And then
Ruins.
there's
Yes.
Yeah, ruins. Yeah, and then there's the indoor one. Well,
Lighthouse.
Kind of indoor one. Yeah, lighthouse. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
I think actually no, that's the Vine Sorry map. Might be.
Looks like you got a fan club here, Thor.
A fan club? I do?
Dragors?
Oh, Dragon. Yeah, yep. He's on our roster. What's going on, Dragon? Sorry, I don't have the Twitch feed up because it's on a 3-minute delay. So
It's kinda useless anyways.
Should be able to see the chat, right?
Yeah, you can see the chat, but it's kind of useless at 3 minutes.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, the chat. Oh, the chat's gonna be delayed as well.
Yeah, but anyways, back to the game. We'll actually be starting this out on Lijiang. What is this? This is Lijiang.
Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower. Thank you.
Yeah. I got you.
Color casted, by the way.
That's right.
Ready for
Alright.
battle.
So it would seem that on the side of, yeah, it would seem that on the side of, what is that? Okay, on Love Shack Gaming, that they would be running a, they'll be running a bunker comp on this map with, with Widowmaker and Doomfist, while on the side of Halichoeres, they'll be running, well, a Sigma comp. Interesting. First one that I've seen in the league.
So excited about this. I'm really interested to see how Sigma's going to be utilized in this competitive environment. Know that we're going to be seeing it in Overwatch League here soon, but this will be a good test. See what kind of compositions we can work around a Sigma here. Obviously, we know the tank composition of Sigma Zarya is powerful, but I'm interested to see what they can utilize as far as the DPS around their main tank line. All right, looking like. We don't actually have the team name posted on the in-game overlay, do we? So red team is Love Shack Gaming, correct?
No, the blue team is Love Shack.
Blue team is Love Shack. Okay. So it looks like HP takes control first. Nice positioning by the tank there. Rift's got a nice foothold. Oh, nice hook. I've seen this from Love Shack before, as far as them being able to get vicious use out of their all-hook combos. Very impressive. One of those things that can't go overlooked in this tank composition. Looks like a fairly quick retake for Love Shack Gaming on the first point of Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, honestly, they kind of won that ultimately really because of all hooks, and immediately being able to hook the Sigma in, getting a lot of space for both their side DPS to be able to go in, do damage, and then you just continuously just spam that whole hook and got a kill. Just really good coordination coming out from Love Shack.
Looks like a nice tight rotation by HP, the right side. A bit of shield break going on right now. Oh, this is Sigma, man. I'm really interested to see how this works. As far as the shield break against the Sigma, against an Arita Hog. Nice punch. Res coming in for Love Shack.
Yeah, honestly, just a really fast fight coming in from Love Shack Gaming, just completely destroying the double barrier comp coming out from the side of Halichoeres, and believe it or not, double barrier is actually a pretty decent comp, but I think they kind of lack the DPS to really be able to abuse the fact that they have the double barrier. Yeah, we're running a double sniper comp, I think. Oh no, they're running a hunt on the screen now, but they still don't quite have the comp to really abuse the fact that they have so many barriers.
True. Rotating to the same side, let's see if they can make it work this time around. Supercharger going to be used on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Amazing ult, undervalued in my opinion. Ult hook comes through, but not able to capitalize on it. Dragon coming through on the side of HB. It's going to be able to get a couple kills. Ana goes down. Widow goes down. I don't believe... Oh, no. It does look like HB is going to be able to get the flip. And Lijiang Tower is going to continue.
Yeah, Halichoeres just, they were immediately able to get the pick onto... Ooh, that's a nice pick. But, anyways, they were able to get the immediate pick onto the Doomfist. And even with the Mercy being able to res it, he just got picked off again immediately, which just made the fight a 5v. Oh my god, lock toast.
Hanzo OP.
Just because he wants this, shout out to Cheesy and his crew at Bjorn.
Yeah, shout out to Cheesy, I guess.
That's all he's getting. He wanted a shout out, he got a shout out.
Zoning Dragon coming in, not 100% certain on the positioning of that Dragon. It didn't really accomplish a whole heck of a lot. We got a Coalescence coming through from HP as well. They are able to get a pick on the side of HP. It looks like they're going to be able to retain this point. Love Shack Gaming is going to have the opportunity for one more recontest here.
Yeah, and it's actually looking really good for Halichoeres. Halichoeres currently has 3 entire ultimates, while on the side of Love Shack they only have, well, they actually only have 2 ultimates at the moment, and you know, this is looking really positive for the side of Halichoeres as long as they use the ult effectively.
I believe it's only the whole hog that they have on the side of Love Shack.
Yeah, but
Gaming
Mercy almost
there.
has ult.
True, true. See if they're going to be able to utilize it. Rotating left. Shields put down on point. Deadeye coming through. Sound barrier too late. Nope. Sound barriers on the side of HB. Absolutely ridiculous Deadeye on the side of Wisp here. Very impressive first point for HB.
Yeah,
I
really
believe that you would
impressive
consider Love Shack Gaming to be the favorite in this match, correct?
I think so. I believe so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Halichoeres actually had a really nice DPS lineup there. You know, just like the Hanzo constantly spamming the days, getting picks, and just doing Hanzo things, and like just doing good general damage overall. And, you know, what was kind of odd to me was the fact that they actually banned Sigma almost like a DPS, to be completely honest with you. You know, like more as like a third DPS rather than like an extra shield tank because they didn't have the DPS who really, you know,
From
really
somebody
use
who's
it.
from somebody who's just put a ton of hours in on Sigma, he actually does a surprising amount of damage, especially if you're comboing him with the Orisa and allowing him to rotate around that static shield that the Orisa provides. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see what kind of value Sigma can get. Nice hook coming through on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Again, constantly gaining value from that combo. Oh. More picks coming through on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and it does look like they're going to be able to secure first control on Night Market here. Pushing forward a little bit.
Honestly, if I was on the side of Halichoeres, I would actually switch off the double barrier comp at this point because they need some way to be able to bait out the Mei wall at this point. They don't really have that. You know, like, if they get even one of those pinks walled off, which I assume they're going to do right here, yeah, like that, then, you know, that's just a 1-5.
Looks like Kinetic Grasp was already used by Sigma here very, very early in the fight. They are able to take down the Orisa on the side of HB, but it's in exchange for both DPS on the side of Love Shack Gaming. I do believe that HB is going to have an opportunity to retake here. Or, excuse me, take the point this first time. And I do believe we're just in the cleanup phase right now. Relatively clean fight on the side. Oh, Reaper is able to touch, extend for just a moment longer. But in the end, HB is able to take the point right at around 50%.
Yeah, honestly, this being like a really consistent Hanzo by the looks of things, you know, just constantly popping off, constantly doing damage to that bunker barrier. Look, the bunker barrier is already down. It's immediate.
Another, that might have been a missed opportunity for a halt hook combo. Great pull, I think it just missed the hook. Looks like Flux is going to be used on the side of HB. Not able to capitalize on it though, and it looks like Love Shack Game is going to be able to retake this with only allowing 30%, 35% maybe to be taken by HB before retaking it.
Yeah, you know, even though they did lose that fight, I would actually not be that bad. It's actually not that bad for Halichoeres because Halichoeres are, they pretty much already have 4 ultimates, and now on the side of Love Shack, they used 3 entire ultimates. They used Chambe to engage and then Nano Reaper in order to engage the fight.
Nice Mei wall. I really would have liked to see him actually get some separation with that Mei wall as opposed to blocking their entrance. Superchargers used on the side of HP. Everybody's damage boosted. Holy smokes. That is a clean sweep of Love Shack Gaming and another quick retake. Very hotly contested second map here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, Halichoeres only having to use one Orisa Bongo in order to win that fight single-handedly. Just honestly great ult usage and great engagement coming out.
Great value. I mean, we're all aware of the fact that Orisa Bongo is one of the most valuable ults in the game. Relatively overlooked, rather. But as long as you're able to get a consistent damage boost for the entirety of the fight, and all that's based on the positioning of the Bongo to begin with. However, Dai comes in, is able to get 2 with the Reaper ultimate, surprisingly enough.
Honestly, I'm not sure if you noticed that, but Ace and Wow, Toast actually had a really good combo there. Ace went in and ulted, and Ace just pulled them all into the repo, allowing him to get that double pick immediately. Just
Very
great ult
interesting.
usage.
Supercharger used on the side of Love Shack Gaming now. However, it's right in the middle of everything. They melt the shield and the bongo goes down. Coalescence used on the side of HB. And it looks like a clean fight for HB. And it does look as if we are going to have HB win out on our map of control here on Lijiang Tower. Love Shack Gaming not able to touch, and that is how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, double barrier, it's a comp that's really, honestly, kind of bad at going into the enemy team, but all things considered, but it's a really good comp for holding the point, and I feel like that's kind of why they won this. They just kept putting the Sigma barrier into the face of the Orisa and Hog, where they couldn't do the Hog Orisa combo, and then they just, well, shredded them, just to be frank.
Interesting to see. You had the Reaper Mei going up against the Reaper and the Hanzo. So on the side of HB, you obviously had way more shield break, and I think ultimately that's what led to a lot of the clean team fights on the side of HB. Is they weren't getting the value out of the Mei the way that you're necessarily looking for. They were using walls in situations where they were simply just blocking off the team as opposed to be able to create that separation and get those easy picks. And even though they were able to take advantage of their halt hook combo, I believe for the first fight, they weren't really able to capitalize on it for any of the subsequent fights afterwards.
In my opinion, probably the biggest deciding factors for that, at least the final map, was even whenever the Mei was able to split somebody off, the Reaper was always in like a position to where he wasn't able to actually follow up on the Mei wall, which is the whole point of running Mei Reaper. You force them to get close. Yeah. Furthermore, other than that, like Sigma, he really did just kind of, stop the halt hook combo from happening every single time just by putting the barrier right in the Orisa's face. And
so it's almost as if Sigma was taking the place of the Mei on the side of HB, as opposed to when it comes to blocking the halt hook combo on the side of Love Shack. It's interesting utilization of the Sigma, very creative. I like it. Also, I mean, I'm really interested to see how much pushback we're going to get from the community when we start to see the ult usage from Sigma, and how many different ways he's going to be able to combo his ult with pretty much anybody else on his team. You look at who they had for DPS on the side of HB during that fight with a Hanzo and a Reaper. Both DPS are able to combo with the Sigma ult, as well as Orisa's halt, being able to get value out of the Gravitic Flux. Really like the ult, I really like the composition that was pulled out by HB in response to Love Shack's Gaming's strong ult hook combo.
Yeah, I really like the use of Sigma there. I have not seen a single Sigma match in Revolution yet, and honestly, if I see more Sigma play like this, then I'm kind of excited to see more Sigma play. But anyways, back to what we are currently playing. We are on the map of Route 66, and I wonder what comps are going to win.
Well, about 2 seconds, and we're going to find out. All right, looking like Orisa Sigma on the... So Love Shack is actually going to run... Now, this is... Yes. Blue is still... Blue is still Love Shack, and red is still HB. Okay. So Love Shack is going to pull out their own Sigma. Let's see if they're going to be able to get the same type of value as HB did on Lijiang Tower. It looks like HB is going to run the Pirate Ship with a Sigma of their own. Very interesting. And a Widow with Bastion. Mercy. Support line isn't surprising there, but very interesting to see the Pirate Ship run with the Orisa Sigma. Let's see what kind of value they're going to be able to get out of running this. It looks like Love Shack's going to be holding relatively passive on top of Gas Station. I know that we've seen a lot of Overwatch League teams. They've been holding right at the initial choke in an attempt to get a second contest on the first point. But let's see how Love Shack Gaming plays it here. Obviously, HB is going to win the shield break war here with a Bastion. Nice rock on the side of Love Shack Gaming. However, nobody's able to really capitalize it other than the fact that they were able to get Immortality Field out of the side of HB. Another nice rock on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but Bastion is taken down. They are not able to get the res off, and it looks like eventually Love Shack Gaming is going to be able to clean this up. But how far is HB going to be able to push this until they're able to actually clear it up? And they're actually able to get it past the gas station. So,
yeah, Halichoeres looked really messy there with their Bastion comp, you know, and I think it was mainly because of the Sigma rock pressure that they were really just putting onto that Bastion constantly, you know, and like, in my opinion, that was just really clean coming out from the side of Love Shack Gaming, or at least this Sigma was really clean there.
and even though Bastion obviously was going to win that shield break comp, it was really good positioning on the side of Love Shack Gaming that really allowed them to win the longer fight. Once they were able to bait out the Immortality Field on the side of HB.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, that fight was really clean coming out from Love Shack Gaming as well. You know, just immediately punishing the overextending Sigma who was in the middle of his shift. I don't know what the ability is called, but you know, the shift one.
Fairly nice stagger on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but HB's finally grouped up, trying to get back to the payload. They already have to use Immortality Field. Immortality Field is taken down. High Noon is popped by Halichoeres, but he's taken out. Nice picks by Wisp on the side of HB, and it does look as if HB is going to be able to close out point A on Route 66. I do not believe Love Shack Game is going to be able to get a recontest here. If they do, it would be ill-advised on the part.
Yeah, Wisp just really showing just how consistent of a DPS he is being during this entire game. You know, popping off on the Hanzo and now popping off on me as well. Just a lot of damage coming out from him. So he's doing his job. He's breaking the barriers as fast as he can.
I believe Halichoeres swapped onto the McCree off of the Bastion, correct?
It's Halichoeres, but yeah, yeah, I think he's McCree right now, but I don't think he swapped off onto McCree from Bastion.
Hanzo ult used on the side of Love Shack Gaming preemptively, but unfortunately nobody's really able to take advantage of that separation. Maybe it's a stall tactic. Very nice trance usage on the side of Love Shack Gaming in response to the Bivittatus Flux. Immortality used on the side of HB. No more Immortality available. Nice pull, but unfortunately it's countered by a trance and a bongo on the side of HB, and it does look like they're going to be able to push this through. I do believe that Love Shack is going to be able to get a second contest here on second point. Even though they're able to get a late pick onto Wisp.
Yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that Halichoeres definitely used way too many ults. They're using a total of 5 ultimates in order to win that fight ultimately versus Love Shack's. I think they only used 2 that fight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they only used 2, but you know, now they're coming back with a bunch more ultimates.
But that being said, I don't even see a huge disparity in the ult economy between Love Shack Game and HB right now. Second point is able to be taken by HB here fairly cleanly. A very early usage of the bongo by Love Shack Gaming is taken out immediately. Lots of shield break on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but the Orisa Sigma is just so powerful. There's so much sustain, especially when it's utilized in conjunction with the Bastion, or not the Bastion, but that piece. Immortality Field is still up, finally expires, but I think HB is going to be able to continue to push this through.
Yeah, double barrier is like just such a high barrier. Like, you know, it's obviously based around how much barrier you are able to put up, how much defense you are able to
Halichoeres is starting to pop off here though on the McCree, gets 2 picks. I do believe that Love Shack Game is going to be able to stabilize a little bit here. Potentially. Love Shack Gaming, I think they're going to be able to get... No, Halichoeres gets picked. They do have 5 on the point, and they do obviously have the spawn advantage. So unless HB is going to be able to get any value... No, they are able to take out the Sigma on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but I think they're going to be able to... They definitely need more out of this push if they're going to be able to finish everything off. Trance is used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, stalling the fight out even more. Halichoeres has this high ground position, is able to get a health pack so much value on the side of DPS from Love Shack Gaming, finally coming through on the third point of Route 66.
Yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, Halichoeres really should have backed up the moment they lost their Orisa. You know, like, but instead they ended up using pretty much all their ultimates in order to try to continue what was more or less lost fight already. Now, Love Shack Gaming, they have a big ult economy over the side of Halichoeres.
Very interested to see what kind of value the Hammond pick is going to be able to get in this type of a composition. I'm assuming that it was picked just to be able to get back to the point to stall out, but now that he's stuck on it, he gets picked before the fight even really starts, and HB has an opportunity to push here. Gravitic Flux used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but a quick response with the Transcendence on the side of HB. Nice minefield coming in from Captain Crunch. I'm not sure how much value he's going to be able to get out of it, but Phalarix is able to get that point. He's able to get a pick onto the Hanzo of HB. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get that clean fight, and I think that Love Shack Game is going to be able to hold here with only a minute 20 left on the side of the attack for HB.
Yeah, you know, how, like, you know, Love Shack Gaming, they were just able to regroup. The spawn is literally right by there, you know, they were able to regroup using Lucio and all speed out at the same time, instantly wiping out the Orisa. I think Sigma, and pretty much just securing the fight, because without those tanks, their comp really just does not have to sustain to survive.
As Rock used on the side of HB. Early pick onto the Zen. Both supports taken out on the side of HB, and they need to regroup right now if they're wanting to get another clean contest in an attempt to finish out Route 66 here. Another couple of staggers on the side of HB. This is 100% going to be their last opportunity to take 3 points. And all they have to work with is a High Noon and an Amp Matrix. Not really what you're looking for. They're probably going to be able to build a Gravitic Flux, and hopefully they're going to be able to combo that with the High Noon. But we'll see how the early portion of this fight actually plays out, because Love Shack Gaming is to get really good value in the first engage. Amp Matrix already used with the High Noon in conjunction. They choose not to use the High Noon in conjunction with the Gravitic Flux, and I think this might come back to bite them in the butt. Nice pile driver from Captain Crunch. OLS is used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, further reinforcing. I don't know if HB is going to have the staying power to push this all the way through. Your respawns are already coming on the side of Love Shack Gaming. You have a Hammond on the side of Love Shack. 4 stall potential. Immortality field already used on the side of HB. They're not going to have it for a sustained fight. Gravitic Flux comes in. Is anybody else going to be able to contest? No!
Massive Sig 9, dude.
Oh, man.
Score.
Just how Jeff Kaplan drew it up.
Sigma's ult is, yuck. They did him dirty.
Initiating match.
Yeah, but anyways, what really happened during that fight, honestly, I thought that was like 100% going to Halichoeres. You know, they had the momentum. They were punishing the people who were just kind of going one by one at that point because it was overtime and at the very end, but
I just think
Sigma,
they had the right hero selection on the side of Love Shack to stall out long enough for those respawns to come in, and HB just unfortunately wasn't able to clean everybody up quick enough.
Yeah, like, you know, Sigma, and with that Sigma on the enemy team, you know, on Love Shack, just getting his ult, like, that just secured the fight instantly in one move.
Mm.
It's like he played Exodia, man, like...
Massive, massive value. But I'm so excited to see, not only in Revolution League, you know, the pick rate of Sigma, but in what compositions he's used here, as well as the Overwatch League.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He's a very interesting hero. In my opinion, he's incredibly powerful. And
Huge brain potential.
Yeah. Yeah, he pairs really well with Orisa, and he pairs really well with Moya as well, which Love Shack Gaming will actually be running with, along with the Ashen Widowmaker, while on the side of Halichoeres, they'll be running the classic Hanzo McCree.
I think it's very interesting running an Orisa Sigma composition, though, however, because typically your main tank is going to be forced into that Sigma type role. So ultimately, you're going to end up asking your flexed tank player to play a somewhat main tank role. However, going into the match here, coming around the first corner is Love Shack Gaming. High ground contest on gas station from HP. They're able to get that first initial pick onto the Sigma. Mercy goes for the res. Unfortunately, it is in vain. She gets picked off, and this is looking like a complete reset on the side of Love Shack Gaming without much progress at all on the payload. They're barely able to get around the first corner. Nice cleanup on the side of HP. Very nice initial engagement. They were able to put so much more pressure onto the composition of Love Shack Gaming as opposed to the initial defense of Love Shack Gaming on HP. Now, granted that HP was running a Bastion initially, which allowed them to get much more progress on the payload. But let's see which route Love Shack Gaming looks to take here. Same route. Bottom right side corner. Looks like a shield break war going on between both Orisa, and Sigma. Not sure what value the Halt is going to really be able to get here without that Halt hook combination. But Love Shack Gaming is able to get that initial pick onto the Orisa. And HP does not have a Mercy, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get... It just looks like stall potential right now. Another Deadeye through the amplification matrix on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but unfortunately not able to get anything outside of the immortality field. And I believe this is almost a C9 on the side of HB, but at the very last second, Orisa's able to contest. Also, a huge dragon comes in, able to get 2 picks, but ultimately it's all for naught because unfortunately everybody able to contest the payload dies, and that is a relatively quick and clean first point for Love Shack Gaming on Route 66.
Yeah, Love Shack actually switching to a very interesting combo to count as double barrier with the switching off the Widowmaker onto the Genji. Now, Genji, as you probably know, is not that good against double barrier, but I think the Ashe is able to spam as much dynamite as she could, doing the Bob constantly. Honestly, just makes a decent amount of space for the Genji to, you know, poke and try at the enemy and probably building from play.
I agree. Also very interesting that they're not running an Ana in conjunction with the Genji as a win condition for that Nano Blade. But it looks like we're going in for another engagement here. Amplification Matrix is used on the side of Love Shack Gaming. No picks as of yet, but both both Immortality Fields used on the side of both teams. But Wiz was able to get that pick onto the Genji of Love Shack Gaming, and I'm not sure if they're going to have the sustain to be able to clean this out, and I think potentially HP is going to be able to clean this up. Yes.
Yeah, Halichoeres just, like, with Risk getting that pick onto Gamzat, who had the blade ready, and they did not have their immunity up, really just kind of set up the fight for their victory. But not to mention the fact that, you know, Love Shack Gaming, they used their immunity very early, which ended up causing for the enemy team to get their immunity back and use Bongo to just instantly win the fight.
I think that might have been a questionable use of the Bongo. I don't really think it was necessary in that fight, but they still do have Gravitic Flux, and they're going to have a Dragon for this upcoming fight. So hopefully they'll be able to take advantage of that. Nice rock used on the side of HP. Not necessarily so much on the side of Love Shack. Gravitic Flux comes in, but it's inside, and they're not able to combo the Dragon with it. Maybe a preemptive Gravitic Flux on the side of HP, and I think they might be kicking themselves in the butt for that, because Love Shack Gaming is able to get a pick on both the Hanzo and that piece, and I think they're going to be able to clean everything up on the side of HP, and this does look like a second point cap on the side of Love Shack Gaming.
Yeah, I think Love Shack Gaming did have the second point, but at what a cost in reality, because, you know, Love Shack Gaming, they used the total of 4 ultimates in order to win that fight, meaning that they're much weaker coming into point 3, and in that, getting the pick onto Risk, just, ugh.
And coming into the next fight, you're looking at HP having a Transcendence, an Amp Matrix, and a Bob. It's not looking too hot for Love Shack Gaming for this next fight, but we'll see if they can find an early pick. Maybe they'll be able to get some push with that. Not able to find any value from the full, even though I do like the combo between the full and the rock from Love Shack Gaming. Both Immortality Fields used and taken out on both sides. However, Baptiste is taken out on the side of Love Shack Gaming by Cause on the side of HB. And it doesn't look like they're going to full reset though. Even though with Phalanx taken out, I think they need to regroup here. But I don't even think, okay, the call I do believe comes in for a regroup. Love Shack starts to back out, and HB is able to take this strong defensive position of this first corner. They have a Symmetra as well, so taking this first corner is going to prove to be, I think, fairly difficult for Love Shack Gaming because they don't really have anything to be able to contest the Symmetra turrets, not to be able to take them out easily anyways without forcing a really aggressive position.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Symmetra, along with her being probably one of the best shield breakers in the game, she also has 3 touchdowns a game.
Bongo used on the side of HB here, but it's in a very open position. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken out. It finally does get taken out. Oris is taken out on the side of HB. Gravitic Flux coming in on the side of Love Shack Gaming. A clean kill on the side of Love Shack, but I do believe that HB is going to have an opportunity to recontest here.
Yeah, Love Shack W, they only have that blade, but you know, on the side of Halichoeres, they actually have the tendency to protect against that blade.
Gravitic Flux comes in on the side of HB, but unfortunately nobody else on his team is there to be able to take advantage of it, and that unfortunately a huge potential value ultimate comes in, and no value being able to take from whatsoever. Sim turrets are placed on the cart, but it's too late, and Love Shack Gaming able to tie up the series 1-1 with a clean push on Route 66.
Yeah, at the very end there, you know, it all came down to the fact that Inzap was able to get away with his blade, and I think that was probably because I think Pinata ended up using Transcendence a bit too early, and, you know, Gecko, who was the back, he's just, I think he already used immunity at that point, just wasn't able to do anything more. It really is unfortunate.
Such a dirty, dirty blade.
Great plays coming out from Inzap and Phalanx alike.
Especially using the blade in conjunction with the bongo like that. I mean, that's amazing value without being able to run the Genji with your typical combo of the Nano Blade. Being able to find that value at the very end there, great ult synergy on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Much more value on their side as opposed to HB. Unfortunately, I know that their Sigma ended up having to come out of spawn to recontest first before anybody else. But if he was only able to hold on to his Gravitic Flux for maybe a second or two more, the rest of his team would have been back to the point from spawn and would have very likely been able to get a lot more value out of that ultimate, because I believe that it was able to catch 3 or 4 in his ultimate, but alas, nobody else on the side of HB was able to capitalize on it, and it ended up in a clean final push for Love Shack Gaming. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, you know, and also the fact that they were able to bait out the Transcendence. Love Shack Gaming was able to bait out Transcendence coming from the side of Halichoeres. Really did just secure that fight before it even fully started, you know, so.
Agreed. And, I mean, even though I think it's fairly obvious that Transcendence is going to be a very popular counter if you're going to see a lot of Sigma play in the near future. And I think you've been seeing you've been hearing a lot of people say that you're not getting the same pick rates on Zen as you used to with Goat's meta and things of that nature. But I think you're going to make a huge comeback if Sigma starts to see a lot of play time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And, you know, I find it very interesting because the very next map is actually going to be Paris for 2CP, and oh man. If I had some woods, I have some choice woods for Paris.
Everybody's favorite map is Paris. Come on now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Let's go with that one.
Now, I know that I believe it was HB that pulled out the Symmetra on defense on Route 66 and had some success, but ultimately wasn't able to find the long-term value out of that pick. But, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to, they're not going to be playing Paris. It looks like we're going to be going to Anubis, but still a completely viable sim strat map. And I'm interested to see if that's something that they're looking to pull out
Yeah.
on Assault here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And you know, man, it's so sad to see Paris go, but you know, Anubis.
What?
Okay, yeah,
And,
but everyone
and
in.
Fuku is high right now, so
I'm pretty sure nobody would shed a single tear if Paris were to be utterly deleted from the map pool, but it's okay. Jeff Kaplan, we thank you for all of the beautiful maps. I know that we should be due for another map to come out here shortly, unless I'm mistaken. I'm interested to see what comes out next. I believe we're due for what the most recent one that just came out was Paris, obviously, which is Assault. So next in line would probably be an escort map, I'm assuming. So very interested to see what Jeff Kaplan and the team come up with for the next season.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like, you know, future maps, I don't know, I don't really like the newer maps usually, and that's just my opinion on it personally. I've never liked things like Blizzard World, Horizon, and you know, they always felt like weaker maps, especially compared to the original maps that were in the
You
game.
don't like Blizzard World? I love Blizzard World. I think it's such a dynamic map.
It's not a bad map per se, but there's just so many better escort maps, or well, not escort, hybrid maps. You know, like Eichenwald, obviously, King's Row. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Eichenwald and Kings Row for sure, but Blizzard World, I think, I mean, I've had a lot of really nice close games. The only thing that really kind of stinks about Blizzard World, in my opinion, is that the latter half of that second point contest, where it's so slanted towards the defense as far as the spawn advantage, which is why you're seeing so many of the Blizzard World maps, especially in Overwatch League, get stalled out on that second point in Blizzard World, simply due to that respawn value.
Yeah, but anyways, since we're on the topic of maps, let's talk about the one that we're currently on, which is Anubis.
let's actually
yeah,
talk about the game that's actually happening.
Listen, okay? So Anubis, what's there to say about it? It's 2CP. Everybody loves 2CP. But as far as 2CP maps go, I actually do not mind Anubis in the least, even though you do tend to see a lot of sniper activity on the first point defense, which it looks like Love Shack Gaming is going for with the Ashe pick here, but they're also looking to get that separation with the Mei, another Orisa Sigma combination. All right, a little bit of shield break action going on. It looks like HB is going to try to push far right side, but an awesome Mei wall on the side of Love Shack Gaming is able to get that stall, and also the pick onto the Hanzo, which stalls them even further. Mei wall used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, maybe preemptively, but in long term, it's going to be another few seconds until the Hanzo is able to rejoin HB and contest. So I do believe that Mei is going to be able to have her wall back in time for the next engagement. It looks like HB is starting to push in here. A little bit of shield break action going on. Halt rock combo used very similarly to the halt hook combination. I think we're going to see a lot of that coming in. Huge dynamite on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but is anybody going to be able to get any value side of it? Because the immortality comes down on the side of HB, keeps everybody topped up with the Coalescence. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to push on that Coalescence, however. They are able to get the pick onto the Orisa, and that is the snowball potential that they're looking for. Another huge... This Ashe is getting ridiculous value with these dynamites. McCree gets his ult off, not able to find any value with it, but Valorix is able to get the pick onto the Hanzo at the side of HB, and maybe they're going to be able to equalize here.
Yeah,
Parapeating in, gets antied unfortunately, gets taken down, and I do believe that HB is going to have to do a full reset.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me that HB actually lost that fight, and I think that was probably down to the fact that, you know, even despite the odds, Halichoeres was able to get that bob out, you know, creating a lot of space for the team to kind of regroup and reset up on this point, and then getting the pick onto the Hans, which is really securing the fight. Oh wow.
Nice amp matrix usage. I was almost going to call it out as questionable, but that Mei wall was able to separate two of the members of HB, and Love Shack Gamer was able to take both of them out in quick succession, which is ultimately going to lead into another regroup on the side of HB.
Yeah, honestly, great coordination coming out from the side of Love Shack Gaming. Yeah, just combo. Honestly, that's all I can say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I believe that you see a lot of Mei players, and you're not really, unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people understand the type of coordination that you actually have to see on the side of the Mei. But that being said, a huge Gravitic Flux coming in on the side of HB, able to take out 3, the Honor, the Sigma, and the Ash on the side of Love Shack Gaming. And if HB isn't able to take this first point with an initial pick of 3, I don't know what to tell you. Hanzo is taken out on the side of HB, and they're not pushing as quickly as I would have liked to have seen with such a huge Gravitic Flux, but they are able to take out, Polo on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and the sustain just is no longer there on the side of Love Shack, and ultimately this is going to lead to a first point cap on the side of HB. With, unfortunately, not many ults to spare. They're only going to be able to go into the second fight with a dragon. I would probably expect to see some sort of poke here to be able to build up one of their other CC ultimates to combo with the dragon.
Yeah, like, you know, that last fight, like, it was really decided very quickly by Blade almost instantly.
Dragon used preemptively here, not really in combination with anything else. Gravitic Flux used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, not really able to find a whole lot of value. Unfortunately, they are able to pick off the Sigma on the side of HB, and it does look like Love Shack's going to be able to push back HB on this initial attack.
Yeah, but just only by the skin of their teeth, though. You know, they had to use a bunch of ultimates in order to win that fight, especially with Fabric being picked off incredibly early in the match.
But they do have freeze coming into this second point, and we all know how effective Mei ult is on second point Anubis. And speak of the devil, Mei comes in, pops ult, and is able to clean up 4 members on the side of HB, and another reset.
You know, that Mei ult plus Bob combo really did just kind of shred Halichoeres pretty much immediately, just winning that fight very fast and just, you know, kind of showing that they're doing it.
I do have some choice words I'd like to use for Mei ult, but I can't really use them on stream, unfortunately. So, coming into our third attack run on second point here for HB, we've got some shield break action going on. Another huge dynamite on the side of Love Shack Gaming, just slowing down the initial attack of HB, and ultimately this is going to turn into a war of attrition with the shield break war being won by Love Shack Gaming, getting 3 picks, and this is just cleanup here at 4 Hanzo.
Yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, Love Shack Gaming just is out-comping Halichoeres at the moment because, you know, they're a very good play and really popping off with those hit scan kind of DPSs, but the fact of the matter is, Ash is just nowhere near as powerful on attack as she is on defense at the second point. Not to mention the Mei wall just getting a lot of value right now, walling off the antidote, allowing Halichoeres to get those dynamites off.
Yeah. And just because of the sheer amount of sustain that Love Shack Gaming has, even though they don't have a ton of shield break on their side, they ultimately end up winning the shield break war just because of the amount of sustain that they have. And again, on the 4th attack of HB, again rebuffed by Love Shack Gaming.
Like, again, Love Shack Gaming, they're just doing the same thing over and over again. Halichoeres goes in dynamite, Mei walls somebody off, and then they combo a ult into the Mei wall to get a free kill, and then just wipe out the rest of the team.
And we're not really seeing any swaps on the side of HB, and we all know, I mean, I'm not trying to be toxic here, but we all know what the definition of insanity is. And it looks like they may be pushing left here, so that's a good sign on the side of HB, but the Sigma looks to be rotating back towards the center. Little bit of indecision here on the side of HB as to what they want to do because both of the tanks are split. We have an Orisa flanking on the far left side, very split, very far from her team. Very awkward positioning on the side of HB, and a very questionable Dragon being used on the side of HB, not really able to get any value or any combo potential with the rest of their team. It's a very, very hodgepodge attack here on the side of HB. Coalescence coming in on the side of Love Shack Gaming, both Coalescences being used, and 3 picks on the side of Love Shack Gaming is ultimately going to lead to another regroup by HB.
Well, no, they can't regroup. This is a final fight.
They have to use the Bob here with overtime being evident, and Bob is able to get a pick onto the Sigma, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Moira tags, Lucio tags. Is Lucio going to be able to pull any Reddit magic? I'm not 100% positive. Lucio gets taken out. Hammond comes in, is able to touch. Not going to be able to touch for long enough, and you are left with a full hold on second point of Love Shack Gaming.
Score
Excuse me, by Love Shack Gaming.
2-1.
Honestly, Love Shack Gaming, they just seemed a lot more coordinated on that defense side at the very end, you know, just really using that Ashe and Mei combo to just absolutely dominate and build up so quickly and win a fight with pretty much only one ult being used every single time.
So much value on the side of the ult economy from Love Shack Gaming, and I think you could really tell that, I'm not sure, maybe HB was getting a little tilted towards the end of that second point push, because you just weren't seeing the patience on the side of HB that you saw from them during their initial push on point A, and ultimately it led to very, very uncoordinated pushes on their attack, and it's what led to their inability to gain any progress on point B on Anubis.
Yeah, it would actually seem that Love Shack Gaming is wanting to run some kind of dive comp here, while on the side of Halichoeres, they'll be running classic Mei bunker comp, except not actually classic because they actually have a Sigma now. Completely not see that. So double barrier Bash and Mei. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty rough for. It's gonna be pretty rough for them.
But a Hammond Winston dive composition coming in from Love Shack Gaming, if they stick with it, very interesting in my opinion. I've seen a lot of Hammond Diva, but not a ton of Hammond Winston. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work against the Bastion Mei composition. I would be very surprised if we didn't see some sort of swap off of this Winston immediately after seeing the Mei and the Bastion. But it looks like they're going to commit to a first engage with the Hammond, maybe doing a little bit of scouting here, relaying back to his team potentially for a swap off, but no, it looks like they're going to stick with the same composition here. Very questionable in my opinion. Shields already have to be used by Hammond without the rest of the team being able to push, and nothing really being able to, no movement being able to be made on the side of Love Shack Gaming. A very, very late decision to be made on the side of Love Shack Gaming, where the Winston swaps to an Orisa, it looks like, and the Hammond is swapping off to the Sigma.
Now, in my personal opinion, if I was Halichoeres, I would have actually instead went Winston Diva and then Cyber Dive, honestly, because that's just an instant way to get rid of this entire team comp, you know, just go in, use EMP and win the fight pretty much instantly, but
I'm partial to Hammond Diva myself, but I totally agree with you as far as the need to have a Diva when countering a Bastion, especially on 2CP. But an early pick comes in on the side of HB on the Batiste for Love Shack Gaming, and this is going to lead to a full regroup. And it looks like Sigma and the Ashe are going to get badly staggered on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and we have Love Shack Gaming hasn't even really tasted any part of first point on Anubis, and they've already wasted 2 minutes of their attack time. Genji getting picked here early too, and this is gonna lead to a further stagger, but their Hammond commits to the fight, gets frozen, he's going to get wiped out, very likely. Slept, antied, he's still alive, the Hammond's still alive somehow. And they're able to get a pick off onto the Orisa, but Valorix gets taken out. Gravitic Flux used on the side of HP, and the clutch grab Flux used on the side of Blade 125 is ultimately going to be able to clean this up on the side of HP, and another cleanup and regroup on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and they're down to 1.5 minutes here on their attack.
Yeah, honestly, in my personal opinion, the fact that, Halichoeres was able to get that pick onto Missy immediately really should have won them
And
that
then
fight.
stagger on the Diva as well. So unlucky. So unlucky. Ash is going on this flank. She's possibly setting herself up for another stagger if anybody's actually able to locate her. She's going on this huge, huge flank. I'm not necessarily sure what they're trying to set up here on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Very interested to see what kind of value this Ash is going to be able to get. Pile Driver comes in on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Solid Pile Driver, shield. But unfortunately, for Love Shack Gaming, HB has that dreaded May ult, and what a clean sweep on the side of HB. And Love Shack Gaming is going to have one more contest on their first attack here on Anubis, and I'm not sure if they're going to really have anything to be able to use.
Yeah, currently all they have is a possible Nano, maybe Mines, and, well, an Amp Matrix. They don't have much. Now, granted, on the side of Halichoeres, they only have Gravitic Flux.
But they're walking into Gravitic Flux with a Bastion. I'm not sure if Love Shack Game is going to be able to get any value, and the Hammond gets picked. Oh, you hate to see it. And Ash is going on this flank again, setting herself up for another pick. She's taking the one-on-one with the Sigma. She's getting trapped by the Mei. She's going to get taken out by the Sigma, and I don't think Love Shack Gaming is going to be able to touch. They do get the touch in on the side of Diva and the Hammond, but who's really going to be able to get any value? Two are already dead on the side of Love Shack Gaming. All the ults are being popped on the side of HB. Both the supports are taken out on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and at this point, it's just cleanup on the side of HB, unless their Hammond just pops the F off, and I don't... Oh my god! Valorix takes everybody out on the side of HB. 3 picks, 4 picks, and by some miracle, Love Shack Gaming is able to take the first point on Anubis. I'm
baffled by that.
That should not have happened.
I want to say great job, because that was well played from the side of from the side of Love Shack Gaming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Halichoeres, along with also Polo getting that nano boost onto Zab, allowing him to death and the bomb coming up from Nita.
Well, Bob used to engage here on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and they're able to get 4 picks. I think they're going to be able to do this. May comes in for the stall on side of HB, but I don't know how long she's going to be able to get the stall. The focus fire looks good on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and oh my god.
What did I just see? Bravo, Love Shack! Bravo!
What's going on in this game?
Halichoeres just taking his team
Oh
on his
gosh.
back. Wow.
You gotta feel so bad for HB right now. You know they're kicking themselves. They had this in the bag. In the bag. I don't want to say... I really wish we could go back and look, but I can't point out to any one in particular that threw that point for them. I think it was just an amazing offensive performance by their DPS on the side.
Honestly, what I noticed was really the nano boost onto the Genji, allowing him to build up that blade and survive for just a little bit longer, allowing the Yiga to come back, slamming onto point, getting up that bomb, knocking everyone up, and then, the Halichoeres just shooting his dynamite, getting 3 kills instantly, just wow.
And their Genji only had, I believe, 20% to his blade before that fight even started, and they got 2 picks before the fight began. I just don't understand how Love Shack Gaming was able to bring that back, but just an epic clutch performance on the side of Love Shack Gaming on that first point attack on Anubis, and wow.
I'm not sure if it's too late, but can we get a clip of Halichoeres just popping off on point 1? Is that possible? That'd be wow. Bravo.
That is that has to, I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be play of the game, but it's certainly clutched that map for Love Shack Gaming.
It's play in my heart.
I know, right? Oh,
anyways,
man.
it would seem that the next map we are going to is Kingsrow, obviously. Who doesn't like Kingsrow? Just the
Everybody
classic map.
loves Kings Row.
And everybody likes Kings Row.
I gotta tell you though, on the side of HB, I would be so mentally defeated right now. I don't even know if I'd be able to even grab the mouse and press mouse 1.
Too much effort, man. Too much effort.
Uh,
You know what? It's fine. They could still win this. Love Shot Gaming's only 2 points for Halichoeres is currently 1. This is still completely winnable by the side of
oh,
Halichoeres.
absolutely. And every single one of these maps has been close. So I'm still looking for this to be competitive. And in Kings Row, even though you do tend to see a lot of rolls on the side of the offense on this map, let's see what HB decides to roll with on their defense to see if it matches up with the offensive composition on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Because the last time that we ran this map, it was against Cream Team, and we all know what Cream Team likes to run in every situation. But specifically on Kings Row, they like to run the Bastion initially on the top right corner and rotate the Bastion with the Symmetra turret on the high ground, which is so ridiculously annoying. I'm not sure if HB has that up their sleeve, but let's see what they decide to roll with here. And it does look like HB decides to go with what's become the standard in this particular matchup, which is the Orisa Sigma composition.
Along with a double sniper coming out from Halichoeres team, and on the side of Love Shot Gaming, they'll actually be running a Mei, which, as we all know, Mei is really annoying on this specific point, and even second point if you can hold a really aggressive angle at that first choke point. But
absolutely, but unfortunately, we do know that Mei is vulnerable to snipers, and first point Kings Row is a sniper playground for sure. So as long as HB pushes this properly and is patient and is able to get the crossfire set up for their snipers, I do believe they should have the compositional advantage here. But first push coming in from HB. Rotating right is the Sigma. Nice pull outside of Love Shack. Not able to get capitalization from it because they don't have a Roadhog. But an early pick on the Sigma on the side of HP is going to lead to a reset here. Nice Mei wall on the side of Love Shack Gaming as well to add a further stagger potential. Lucio does look like he's going to be able to get out, but ultimately we're looking at a second push coming in right at around the 3-minute mark on the side of HP.
Yeah, what's kind of crazy to me was that, like, you know, Love Shot Gaming, they actually end up having better shield break ultimately than on the side of on Halichoeres, because even though they really shouldn't, because they had the Hanzo on the side of Halichoeres, they should have realistically.
I'm not sure where that rock was going. He was trying to take out the Pharaoh, but definitely an ambitious rock to say the least. Aggressive shield placement here by the Sigma on HB, and I think he might get punished for it, but their Bivittatus has to use the Immortality Field on Sigma to keep him up. Shield break war going on right here, and it looks like HB is going to be able to take advantage of it, but a nice Mei wall comes in on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and Mei is able to freeze both tanks, take both of them out, and this does look like it's going to be another reset on the side of HB.
Yeah, honestly, like, Halichoeres and Zap just honestly really having a dominating performance here. You know, just comboing really well with each other, and you know, this seems really different from the other main.
These rocks! So, alright. Both, I'm not sure why both shields are being used on the side of HP right now, very prematurely in my opinion, before the rest of the team is in position. Rotating right on the side of HP, Amp Matrix used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, however, and are able to take out the Bivittatus, but Farah comes in on the side of HP, and a massive barrage, able to take out both supports on the side of Love Shack Gaming. However, Freeze comes down on the side of Love Shack, able to take out the remainder of HP. Hotly contested first point here. Are they going to be able to take out the Sigma? Rez comes in on the side of HP. They're able to take out the Orisa. Huge Rez. Huge Rez on the side of HP. Only with a Mei to contest here. Mei's taken out on the side of Love Shack Gaming. The only person left to stagger is potentially the Reaper, but Reaper isn't able to contest for very long. Bivittatus might be able to use the Mortality Field. Unfortunately, he decides not to, and I think Love Shack calls for a full regroup.
Yeah, honestly, you know, Wisp just being a really consistent overall DPS, you know, just getting really nice ults, getting really nice plays, and, you know, just doing a lot for his team, just doing enough, just following up onto that damage, getting the nice boots, allowing Hanzo to get hit.
I like the aggressive positioning here by the Orisa and the Sigma. Acting very, very, oh! But as I say, that Halichoeres comes in with a huge Death Blossom and takes out 3 on the side of HB. And HB is going to have to do a full reset here. That was a clean Death Blossom. And you don't tend to see all that much value with that ultimate, especially when it isn't augmented by a nano or anything along those lines, unless I'm missing that. But a raw Death Blossom on the side of Halichoeres able to clear 3 eliminations and force a full reset on the side of HB.
Yeah, honestly, Halichoeres just, wow, they played that fight really cleanly, you know, just punishing those who are overextending into the spawn and just, you know, like, just instantly winning that fight. Like, that was actually really impressive.
More aggressive positioning here on the side of HB, playing very Rein Zarya-esque, but obviously with an Orisa and a Sigma, and I love the aggressive nature of the Sigma here, essentially able to get away with murder here, and pick off onto the Mei on the side of HB. Looks like it's going to lead to a clean capture of point B on the side of HB. Immortality Field used, Grab Flux used on the side of HB, questionable ult usage on the side of HB because I'm pretty sure they were going to have point B taken anyways, but they do have a couple ultimates to spare here going into the final turn on King's Row. They're going to have Ant Matrix, they're going to have Freeze, and they're going to have Bongo here, so they have plenty of ammunition to work with on the side of HB coming into the last point on the Foundry. But that being said, Love Shack Gaming also has their Freeze and their Bongo. They're going to have Grab Flux and they're going to have Coalescence. Grab Flux here used early on the side of Love Shack Gaming, able to get huge value out of the Grab Flux. And that is a clean team fight on the side of Love Shack Gaming with minimal ult usage. Nice ult value there on the side of Love Shack.
Yeah, Yiga just really, like, combo. Tell me, does Bongo combo with Bivittatus Flux? Does it actually, like, increase the damage?
It does not, in my opinion. All it's going to do is obviously increase the damage that the DB is going to do to be able to. But nice Bongo placement here on the side of HB. But the Freeze comes in on the side of Love Shack Gaming. It's way better than the Bongo on the side of HB. And holy smokes, that is a clean team fight on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Clutch Freeze on the side of Zap, even though he gets eliminated.
Yeah, and Zap, like, he died for, you know, that fight, but, you know, he got the freeze off, he was able to get everyone else killed, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day, you know? But anyways, Halichoeres has that Bob, and Polo along with that Coalescence and Ant Matrix, honestly, this is looking really good for the side of Love Shack Gaming at the moment, especially with that Bob, and I imagine that's what they're going to use here.
This double shield staggering composition of the Orisa Sigma is going to be such cancer. I'm interested to see on what compositions are going to be coming out to counter this, but BT is able to get some value here from their Widow and their Sigma here, picking off 3. Love Shack's going to need a full regroup here if they want another opportunity to actually hold this point 3.
Wow, Risk just getting 4 kills like immediately. Wow, he pretty
Sigma
much just
popped off as well. Holy smokes!
No, Sigma did good there, but honestly, just like he got like 4 kills.
Is anybody even going to be able to touch here? All right, Winston comes in, 4th touch. Captain Crunch uses his bubble. Bubble's eliminated almost immediately, but the Grab Flux is good. Are they going to be able to capitalize on it? The Freeze comes in on the side of BT as well, and I do believe this is going to be able to secure the 3rd point on King's Row for HB. Nice, clean push with time to spare.
Yeah, a really nice like snowballs right at the very end there, just pretty much just using the ults to win the very next fights, which, you know, they had a massive ult advantage because of the former fight, and but, you know, all things considered, Love Shack Gaming, they held pretty well. They were able to get it down to 37 seconds, meaning that, you know, as long as they push decently, they have a pretty good chance of just straight up beating Halichoeres based off time alone.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't necessarily think you can point out any major flaws in the ult usage of either team. I think ultimately that just came down to the mechanical abilities of the individual players on both sides and being able to execute on those ults. So shout out to HB for a relatively clean push on King's Row. But let's see what Love Shack Gaming decides to run
Ready
on
for
their
battle.
offense. Ryan Zarya, the OG tank combo for King's Row. They're going to pop it out. Now, as we all know, Zarya and
Attackers incoming.
Ryan
30
have
seconds.
received recent buffs with a new patch. Ryan with his steadfast ability, which diminishes CC, which for all of us Ryan players, is a godsend. Thank you, Jeff Kaplan, for that. And Zarya received a buff to her tracking ability, which ultimately leads to a steadier, more consistent DPS stream from the Zarya pick. So I'm interested to see how aggressive Love Chat Gaming wants to get with this combination, especially with a Doomfist Reaper DPS combo to accompany the Ryan Zarya. Very, very interesting DPS combination, but let's see what they can get done here. Looks like they're rotating through Hotel, left side, 2 point. Not really able to step foot on 2 point as of yet. A little bit of poke for going on. I'm not sure. Okay, Zarya used the bubble on Ryan. Ryan's starting to get aggressive here, but he's rebuffed, and they're able to take out both the Reaper and the Moira quickly during the first initial push on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and I'm interested to see if they're going to switch off of this Ryan Zarya, because it just looks as if they plan to run this type of composition against the Sigma Orisa. They really need to go all in. They can't necessarily just commit the Zarya bubble to the Rhine and expect him to create all the space necessary to find the value. Maywall comes in on the side of HB, not really finding any value though, doesn't really find any separation, but still able to find the kills on the side of HB with this seemingly superior tank composition of the Orisa Sigma. Coalescence, they're going to commit here with the Coalescence. Very questionable decision on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but ultimately they do find the picks on the Batiste and the Zen and clear the team fight and are able to secure the first point on King's Row. Clutch Coalescence, and she ends up, or excuse me, Moira on the side of Love Shack Gaming, I believe Polo makes me eat my words there with the what I thought was questionable usage of the Coalescence. Now it looks like some aggressive push that we're used to seeing on King's Row from Ryan Zarya, but maybe have overextended a little bit too much. But HB does have to commit freeze in order to be able to secure that win, and I'm questioning the use of that particular ult just to be able to find a pick on the overextended Rhine. But it does allow them to take this aggressive positioning at the overpass. And I think ultimately this is going to end up benefiting the Orisa's combination.
Okay, is it my turn to talk now? Or... Okay.
Shatter comes in on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but it's countered with a huge grab flux, and wow, nice cleanup from the side of HB. All right, you can talk now. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Hey
But,
guys,
I was just getting into it.
Yeah, no, it's fine, dude. Yeah, but great graphitic flux coming out from Blade, just securing that buy. And now Halichoeres, she currently has that Death Blossom along with Captain Clenchy with the Graviton. They have a lot of ults coming from the side of Love Shack Gaming, and I'm kind of interested to see if they can use these ults effectively. They should just win this.
Grab comes out, but doesn't find anybody in the grab. Oh, you hate to see it. Coalescence comes out on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and this just, this is a roll and a half on the side of Love Shack. Fortunately, on the side of HB, they were able to have that aggressive positioning, so they should be able to get another contest here on second point for King's Row, as long as they don't end up staggering themselves. But it looks like the call has been made for a full regroup, and I think HB is going to be able to come here for a clean recontest. Assuming nobody gets booped here by the Lucio.
Yeah, of course. Now, they do actually have a pretty decent advantage here, you know, from the side of left shack. Not left shack, actually, no, you go. It's right.
No, absolutely. Aggressive trance used on the side of HB just to be able to contest. Interesting choice to use the Transcendence aggressively there, but ultimately ends up paying off because Orissa's able to get that pick onto the Zarya, and Zen's able to find the headshot on the Lucio, and the call comes in on the side of Love Shack Gaming for a regroup with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, honestly, great aggression coming out from the side of Halichoeres, just using that Transcendence as their chance to instantly kill the Orisa and just take over pretty much point instantly. And you know, now on the side, whenever it comes to ultimate, it's looking very heavily in the favor of Halichoeres.
Grab Flux used by HB. He's got 3 in it, but unfortunately for HB, Coalescence is popped on the side of Love Shack Gaming, is able to top everybody off. Immortality Field used on the side of Love Shack Gaming, though, and a nice bongo used on the side of HB, even though it's in a fairly aggressive position. But fresh shield is popped out by the Orisa, keeps it nice and topped off, and they're able to clean everybody up with that extra damage provided by the bongo of Ace.
Yeah, follow switching back onto the Ashe, and if we have anything to say about their Ashe throughout this entire match, it's pretty good. So, you know, I'm gonna be very interested to see, especially since, you know, on the side of Halichoeres they are running the double barrier, which allows for the Ashe to get a lot of just free dynamite off.
Sigma with an interesting high ground position here, and he's currently trapped behind the team. I'm not sure if anybody's actually called that out, and he gets out! Amplification Matrix is used on both sides, so all the shields are just getting shredded. Freeze comes in on the side of HB though, but they're only able to find the Sigma in it. As long as they're able to secure the kill though, it does look like they're going to be able to secure this last fight. The call needs to come in on the side of Love Shack Gaming right now if they're looking to get another contest on second point.
Yeah, Love Shack Gaming, they only have 2, well, maybe 3 ultimates to win this next fight, while Blade, he has his prophetic plus, and with a massive stack on Polo, who knows what's gonna happen here? Will they even be able to touch?
They don't have anybody able to touch. There's only 4 seconds left, and I do believe that HB is going to be able to secure King's Row, and we are going to a map 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Map 5. What's the type? What is the default tiebreaker map, Soldier, if you don't mind me asking?
Control, I believe. Correct?
No, I know that, but like, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's Busan, okay.
Solid grab flux.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, you're just going to see a ton of Sigma use.
Yeah, Sigma, he does just such a ridiculous amount of damage, especially for a main tank, you know?
Absolutely, and he's got that dirty survivability too, almost on par with Orisa herself. But is also, instead of just the raw shield block damage of the static shield that Orisa provides, has that absorb capability that you would find in a diva. But I think his ult is better. I think it's just like, again, it's a fairly new concept. Sigma's only been around for a few weeks now, but people have seen to find this synergy between the Sigma and the Zarya, and the Sigma and the Orisa. Sigma Orisa specifically on the defense, but it looks like you're starting to see it on the offense as well.
Yeah, like, honestly, Sigma, he's just such a good hero, especially when comboed with other, you know, tanks, like, you know, he's really good with Zarya, but he's incredibly powerful with the Orisa, just further kind of solidifying how powerful shields really are in this game, especially if you just spam them out.
And I think there's so many, like almost every single DPS in the game with Sigma's ultimate. So there's a lot of natural synergies built in there. So the compositional capabilities of running a Sigma and pretty much anything are limitless, which is why I think you've seen such diverse DPS compositions on both sides when the Sigma is used.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I always find DPS with these double barrier kind of comps testing because you can get a very big variety with those DPS. You can get some very close range DPS such as Doomfist, maybe even a Genji if you're feeling a little spicy that day, or you just go with like classic Ashe, Hanzo, or Reaper, Mei. Like I don't know. It's very interesting to watch double barrier, even though it is at the end of the day just shield spam the game. But
I was about to say, like, what do? Do you commit to the shield spam against an Orisa and a Sigma? I mean, that's just going to lead to very drawn out offensive engagements. But that's why I'm just very interested to see how this composition evolves, specifically with what teams choose as far as their DPS combo with the Sigma and Orisa.
yeah, LoveShack will actually be running something else besides the double barrier comp this time around with a Hammond dive with a Ashe. It's very interesting. I don't see Ashe dive that often, but I want to see how they run this. And obviously, Halichoeres running that double barrier comp they like so much.
I mean, potentially the Ashe can play back line and with the Ana the same position.
Playing like a widow, yeah.
I agree. Very, very interesting composition here on the side of LoveShack Gaming. But let's see how it plays out. They do have the Nanoblade win condition on the side of LoveShack Gaming, so let's see if they're going to be able to get value out of it. HB looks like they're running Orisa Sigma. We would think from what has been used in previous maps that HB has the compositional advantage here, but Genji comes in with the Swift Strike. Nice anti on the side of LoveShack, and they're able to capitalize on that huge ante, and the value of the Ana there cannot be underestimated whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely massive anti coming out from Polo, and then Halichoeres being able to follow up onto that anti along with Yiga going really aggressive onto them, creating space for Halichoeres to, well, shoot at them after the anti. Just great teamwork coming out from them.
And I heard somebody say that Hammond was dead. Well, now Hammond is literally dead in the game, and it looks like HP is going to be able to do this. They did have to use all of their cooldowns on the Hammond to be able to take him out, but ultimately it does look like HP is going to be able to find a foothold on the point here, but they have not yet been able to secure the control point as of yet, but over time, it looks like after LoveShack's able to get about 43% of control, HB is able to take it from them.
Yeah. In my opinion, Yiga really needs to just play a lot less aggressive because, he pretty much was the reason they lost that fight, to be pretty honest. He immediately got picked off because of his Goku extinction. And I feel like he really needs to coordinate with his D.Va and his team a lot more in order to go into this kind of competition.
And it looks like HB had just enough CC to be able to focus him and eliminate him engaging into the fight. So going into the fight that we're looking at right now, Deadeye's popped by Wisp is able to take out the Lucio on the side of LoveShack Gaming, but Wisp is taken out by Halichoeres. Picks going back and forth right now. Blade is used on the side of LoveShack Gaming, the Nano Blade, but Genji's taken out. Halichoeres is able to take out the Tease. Oh my gosh, this is so back and forth. HB is able to maintain control of the point after this ult fiesta that we just witnessed on control.
Yeah, all I gotta say about that entire thing is that, Halichoeres, they really need to play this a lot more like dive than they are, because at the moment, Yiga's just kind of trying to make space, but then Captain Crunchy, maybe he just doesn't have a cooldown ready, or maybe they're just not communicating when diving together, but it always feels like Captain Crunchy is not in at the same time as Yiga, or Yiga's just in by himself, and, for dive to work, it has to be teamwork, they have to work together.
Alright, aggressive bomb used on the side of LoveShack Gaming. Not able to find any value. Actually, the D was taken out by the Doomfist, but Doomfist comes. Both Doomfists are popping off. Holy smokes! But Rawtos gets taken out by the Ana on the side of HB, and it looks like HB is going to be able to maintain this. D.Va comes in for a last-minute contest, but I'm not sure how much longer she's going to be able to hold on here. She staggers a little bit on Monument, right on the middle of the control point, but the clutch Gravitic Flux comes in at the very end to be able to clear the point. Hammond is able to pop mines on the control point on the side of Love Shack Gaming for a little bit further stall. But Pix need to be able to come in here on the side of Love Shack Gaming. And Raw Toast is actually taken out by one of the mines on the side of Ace, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get anybody else to come in and contest.
Yeah, this is a really nice test.
Lucio is doing the Reddit Lucio thing on Busan, specifically on this map, both Lucios. And right now, oh my gosh, Love Shack's actually going to be able to turn this around with a couple of picks by Zap and Crunchy. Oh my, or excuse me, Captain Crunch. I cannot believe these clutch engagements on the side of Love Shack. Seemingly when no hope is to be found, they're able to turn that fight around and swap the point.
Yeah, by some miracle, Lucio was able to just contest pretty much the entirety of that time. But, you know, even with them being able to somehow clutch it back, you know, they still don't have that many ultimates. They only really have Halichoeres, High Noon, and maybe Soundray. While on the side of Love Shack, they already have, you know, 2 ultimates and might be coming up on a High Noon of their own. You know, just...
I'm not sure how close the Orisa was on the side of HP to Bongo, but they swapped off the Orisa to a Diva. Questionable call here potentially, but they are able to get the pick off onto the Wrecking Ball on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and this looks like a clean sweep. As long as they're able to focus targets here on the side of HB, I think they're going to be able to secure this point.
Yeah, like I said before, that ult advantage really did just kind of mean a lot for them at the end of it all, you know? They may have lost that point at the very end, whenever they probably shouldn't have, because Lucio was able to contest, but they just came back with ults and just won it outright like that.
I mean, in their defense, they didn't really have any character ability other than Lucio to really contest the top of that monument.
That is fair.
I think that's why he was able to get so much value and stall for so long. And the clutch minefield coming in on the side of Captain Crunch, able to get that initial pick on the Doomfist on the side of HB really kind of opened the doors for that retake. But ultimately, it was all for naught because HB is able to take your first round of control here on Busan for our 5th and final tiebreaker map between these two amazing teams.
Yeah, like, now we're on a mecha base, and it seems that both teams are obviously winning Mei, because, you know, Mei's just really good on mecha base, but the other teams have some very different Reaper, and it's going to be interesting to see which one's actually going to win.
Right. Initial aggressive positioning taken here by HB. I do believe they have the advantage here. Shields are broken by Love Shack Gaming, though. However, an even further, nice Mei wall on the side of Love Shack Gaming, though, is able to separate 3 off on the side of HP, but no picks coming in as of yet. Both Immortality Fields used, both Immortality Fields are taken down, and because of that initial aggressive push by HB, are able to take the point first.
Yeah, right now, like, you know, Love Shack Gaming, they have to go into this, you know, they have to go into a bunker comp on point, but, you know, they have the ultimate.
That is a dirty amplification matrix on the side of Love Shack Gaming, but unfortunately, the environment of the map blocks half of the LOS of the ultimate, and I don't know how much value they're going to be able to get out of it. But that being said, Orisa does go down on the side of HP, and it just looks like cleanup here on the side of Love Shack Gaming. And after a mere 33% of control being taken by HB, Love Shack is able to flip it.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, that's actually pretty decent for Halichoeres, though, because, you know, Halichoeres, they were able to get that 333% and, you know, baited out a lot of ultimates from the side.
Without even really getting any eliminations, too. Maybe a preemptive wall here by Mei, and I think that might come back to bite them. I probably wish they had that Mei wall right now, but a freeze comes in on the side of Love Shack Game and able to get huge value when comboed with the coalescence. I'm sorry, their words are hard.
Now, you know, we like to use the word ult fiesta, but, you know, what's like bigger than a fiesta? Like a ult parade, maybe?
Soiree. I don't know. We're gonna have to think of some words. But the Mei wall comes in a little bit late on the side of Love Shack Game. Actually find any separation on the side of HB. Die is canceled by Halichoeres, but not before he's able to take out the Orisa on the side of HP, and this looks like a full regroup on the side of HP.
Yeah, Halichoeres, she went in, she tried to press ultimate. She probably tried to press the Q button there, but the McCree, he's there for a reason. He ended up being able to shut down Halichoeres before she was able to get into meaningful ripple there.
Another very early wall here used by Mei, not choosing to go for the separation, but unfortunately for them, the Zaf, the Mei on the side of Love Shack Gaming, is able to find that separation on the side of, on the Sigma on the side of HP, and this is going to further stagger this attack on of HP.
Yeah, honestly, Mei on the defensive side is almost always going to win that fight on default against the attacking Mei, and that's just the nature of this point.
HP is able to touch, but the Gravitic Flux comes in from Love Shack Gaming, and a sweep when combined with the with the halt from Captain Crunch, and looks like we are going all the way on the last map of control for both of these teams. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Downtown Busan.
Clearly a Mei favored map, and it also looks like both teams have insta-locked the Mei.
Now, the thing with Mei on, this specific point is that, it's just like Mecha Base. Whoever caps point first is at a massive advantage if they have the Mei, because, they are just able to split off the enemy team, and, the attacking Mei she can't do much, so usually most teams will switch off the Mei.
Oh, for sure. But we say that, and HB took first control on that last map with having the Mei, but Love Shack Gaming was able to take from them. So let's see how this one plays out. Again, HB with that Lucio able to take that initial aggressive positioning, but matched by Love Shack Gaming as well. So we have almost mirror compositions. The only difference being a Hanzo on the side. Oh, excuse me. We have double sniper actually. A swap coming through on the side of HB, and they swap off of the Mei. Interestingly enough, even though Mei tends to get a ton of value, and Halichoeres able to get a pick on Lucio here on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and I think Love Shack Gaming is going to be able to clean this up. However, Hanzo Ratos comes in on a flank here on the side of HB and is able to get huge value, and the HB looks like they're going to be able to turn it around here as long as they're going to as long as they can get the shield break. But the Amp Matrix comes in with only 3 on point for the stall on Love Shack Gaming. The pick onto Ratos from the Sigma, and oh my gosh, another long extended fight with several ultimates being used on both sides. But fortunately for Love Shack Gaming, they're able to take it in the end.
Yeah, at the very end, that Mei really did just get a lot of value. And, with the side of Halichoeres just switching off the Mei, just really
Very
did
interesting
make them lose a lot of value. Yeah. But, now they have the double sniper, which is actually really good against attacking against the Mei.
True, but they need to be able to get those clear sight lines. And Grab Flux comes in from Love Shack Gaming, not able to find any value. And Sigma pops off, Blade, pops off on the side of HB, and it looks like, barring a miracle, on the side of Love Shack Gaming, HB should be able to take control after 45% being taken by Love Shack Gaming initially.
Yeah, honestly, just a really great attack coming from the side of Halichoeres, especially from Blade, timing his Prophetic Flux to, to the time whenever Deco's immunity was destroyed. And now, Widowmaker with those sides is going to give him info on where to go.
Unfortunately, that Grab Flux used by Yiga was not able to be capitalized on by the rest of the team. The Fatality Field used by Deco. So attack coming in here from Love Shack Gaming. They're putting themselves in this really tight corridor. I'm not necessarily sure about this positioning on the side of Love Shack Gaming, and ultimately they're just able to get roasted in that tight choke. Even with, but as I say that, as I say that, the bongo comes through and everybody just gets melted on the side of HB. And Love Shack Gaming is able to flip it again after 40% is taken by HB.
Yeah, and notice how they were actually able to take that with the Mei on the attacking side, and now they have Blizzard and they have that high noon. Like, honestly, this is looking so good for the side of Logitech Gaming to be able to hold this one
They have freeze coming in. They have freeze, and HP has the only thing they're gonna have to be able to combat that is an Ant Matrix. And they do pop barrier, but unfortunately, it doesn't really seem to connect with anybody. And this is a clean fight for Love Shack, and I'm not. Oh, you do get a pick on the Sigma on the side of HP, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to finish this off. And ultimately, this might end up costing them the map, not calling the regroup.
Yeah, Deco's not going to be there for the final fight, meaning that they have lost the back piece.
Are they going to be able to touch? Is the Moira going to be able to touch? Moira's just barely able to touch on the side of HP, but unfortunately, both the Wisp and Ace are melted before the fight even starts. And ladies and gentlemen, Love Shack Gaming in the final round of the final map between these two amazing teams is finally able to clutch it out after some huge clutch play on several members on the side of Love Shack Gaming. Just an amazing match all around. I'm glad I had the opportunity to cast it.
Yeah, honestly, like, Love Shack Gaming just really, like, showing a dominating performance, you know? Just, honestly, in my opinion, they mainly won that purely because of their ult combo usage over the side of Halichoeres. Halichoeres have some absolutely amazing, like, talent with Wisp just constantly popping off and Blade being a really amazing Sigma, but individual talent doesn't matter if, you know, Blade's trying to go in and ult, but nobody's able to follow up on his graphitic flex. While on the side of Love Shack, they use a Mayo, and that team is dead. It's just that simple.
Ultimately, I really think that HB is going to be kicking themselves, swapping off of that initial May pick that they had. They had it queued up in spawn on the last map of Busan, but for some reason they decided to swap off to that double sniper. And with how tight
favorite comp, even though it's not played anymore, it was the Orisa Hog. Like Orisa Hog, 2 snipers, and then Anna Zin or Anna Baptiste or along those lines. That's honestly one of my favorite comps, just because they can play this 2 snipers and it's kind of like a shooting range for DPS and trying to figure out like who's the trying to outplay the other snipers.
Okay. Thank you very much for the insight. Soldier, you have any questions?
Since I'm literally dying here with my voice, which you can hear, I have 0 questions.
Okay.
Congratulations, guys, on your win tonight. That was huge. That was definitely a fun match to watch. I'm sure it was fun to play.
Yeah, it's very close.
I want to see. Does that? I haven't looked at the rankings yet. Does that change your placements in the season at all? I don't know off the top of my head. I can check real quick.
I'm
I
not
haven't
sure
checked
actually.
either. That's
Yeah, I haven't
probably something that I should have checked.
Well, let's see. Currently, you guys are at 15 wins and 9 losses, and with 3 map wins, that would put you at 18 and 1. So I think that would put you above from the Ashes temporarily until they put a score in, which I would imagine is probably, unless they got 4-0'd,
Yeah.
I think you guys are still 3rd, which is still really good, especially for
Yeah.
Division 1, so congratulations on that. We'll see you guys in the upcoming end-of-season tournament.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
GG's.
thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Anything you want to plug before you want to get out of here?
Nope, I got nothing.
Alright, see you, man.
See ya.
Congrats.
Well, that is the match. That is the stream. I would like to thank everybody for coming out and watching both these teams just pound each other in the face as hard as possible. I'd like to thank our casters for doing a really good job. Thor did really good for his first time. Was a little slow starting off, but definitely did a very good job and picked up along the way. And even got complained at by Fuka for talking too much at the end.
Stop it. I'm glowing.
You did great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Even though I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit on King's Row.
Nah, dude, it was fun. You, to be fair, you got like all the points I wanted to go over, so.
I'm stealing your material. Feels bad.
You guys want to throw something out there where people can either find you or you want to shout out somebody?
I guess yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to hit up my Twitch, I do have a channel. It's twitch.tv/Thorcraft with a K. That's THORKRAFT. I literally just got back into streaming. We've been using it mostly for VOD review sessions for our team, which, as Solja stated at the very beginning of the session, I manage Team Ragnarok in Division 2 of the league. Luckily, we were able to come in kind of halfway through the season, get our feet wet into the amateur competitive Overwatch scene. So we're thankful for that. I appreciate it. I'm glad that we're able to be part of a relatively non-toxic community, except for Cream's team, who runs Bastion 24/7. But we're not going to talk about it. But no, for real though, I have a lot of respect for all the teams. I don't really have anything bad to say about anybody on any of the teams. Everybody's been very welcoming, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. It's a welcome feeling after having dealt with solo queue forever.
Yeah, solo queue and even team queuing can get kind of iffy. So it's definitely a different atmosphere as long as you come in with the right mindset. It can be a game changer.
I think it'll improve slightly with a role queue, but you're still gonna have. I think now we're entering into the meta, no skill DPS. So you get people you get tanks that might be placed at a particular MMR SR range, but they're not getting carried like their DPS they're accustomed to, and they end up blaming their DPS when in actuality everybody's actually evenly matched. So hopefully that toxicity subsides. But overall, I think role queue has been a net positive for the community in general. As and has ultimately negated a lot of the gross toxicity that you heard just from your typical solo queue environment, whether it's having to having to play tank when you're a support main, or having to flex on the support when you're a really good DPS, but you have 3 or 4 insta Q or insta lock DPS. That's nothing that we have to worry about anymore, and I think that ultimately everybody can agree that they're appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's I think it'll be a good thing overall. We'll see what happens. Beta so far has been pretty decent,
Yeah.
so I'm excited.
And I'm appreciative of the fact that you actually made that live like during this season, as waiting, because it's just, to be honest with you, like when I put my team together, we didn't practice any of goats because we knew it was dying. So I mean, we weren't going to spend any time on a game that we find any value in the long term. And now this kind of I don't want to say puts everybody on level ground, because I'm sure you had teams in the league that ran predominantly goats, and now they're having to kind of swap off their game a little bit and acquiesce to the new meta. But ultimately, I think it's the right decision moving forward. There's no real point in sitting in a meta that's in the past.
And that's where it belongs, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dead and
Forgotten
buried.
history.
Thank you very much.
So what about you, Fuku? Where can people find you at, man?
On my, Discord. That's kind of it.
DM me. Slide into his
DM
DMs.
me. Yeah, exactly. Just tell me how terrible I am. Thanks. Yeah, but anyways, it's been a pleasure casting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. Everybody, both teams, both you two for blabbing your mouths the whole time on stream. That was excellent, and everybody for watching and listening to these casters blab on stream. So thank you very much for everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Peace out, gamers.
See ya.